Hello, my beloved ones. My name is Elgimantas. I live in a small country in Eastern Europe, in Lithuania, at the Baltic coast. My teachings are spiritual teachings, but I do desire to relate them to our everyday material life, which has to be based on the spiritual background. It has, not must be based, but has to be based, because this is the will of Creator. While implementing his evolutionary plan, he has ordained people with free will, bestowed free will upon all creatures. So by a free will, we might understand that you might choose between evil and goodness, between good and bad. You might choose whatever you desire to do just using your free will. But actually, if you have a spiritual insight and a deep thinking mind, you would arrive at the conclusion that there is no freedom while you operate your free will, because no one desires to do anything that would turn against him or her and cause some problems, some suffering, that anyone would do evil deeds directed at him. So it means that everybody wants goodness, and even a higher degree of goodness is love. So everyone desires to be loved. But if you follow this trail of thoughts, you would arrive at the conclusion that if you do something good to others, this would benefit the whole, would benefit you personally as well. So in this case, while exercising a free will bestowed by Creator upon you, you have no right to do anything what might be tinged with evil, shades of your thinking, even a shadow of evil mind, evil thought. So in this case, you have no other choice but to follow Creator's will. And in this case, you have no choice but to fuse your will with that of Creator. While having freedom of action, you have no freedom whatever. The more so if you desire to be eternal, as Creator Himself, being the source of eternity, has bestowed everyone's personality, which is also an eternal gift. So in this case, again, if you desire to be eternal, you have to fuse your will with that of Creator, because such is condition of evolution. Evolution which has been designed by Creator. So when we put a question, what is God? And no matter whom you might ask this question, be it, say, according to people's understanding, the closest person to God, say a priest or a pastor or a certain sort of guru, if you ask him, what is God? You would receive different answers. But I doubt they would satisfy your heart. This is a metaphor when I use the word heart. Of course, your mind. Their explanation, what is God, it would be most probably unsatisfying your mind. You would desire something more definite, something more clear to you. Then you have just received it as an explanation from those, well, so-called professional specialists in the field who lead, well, collective masses in church or in some other houses of praying. But if I desire to explain to you what is God, responding to this question, giving an answer to this question, that would be a very short and simple answer. God is the source and center of all energy, and all creation is made up of energy vibrations of different frequency. So if you look at the sky, if you look especially at night, when you see, well, myriads of stars, and they are actually suns, but they are so far from us, from our planet, that we cannot see their light like we see the light of our sun in the daytime. But actually, this is a very medium sun. It's not so bright and not so young, and even it's not so big. So there are other suns who have much more energy, and brightness is much brighter, much greater than our suns. So in this case, the energy from Creator accumulated in this sun is in a much greater volume. Therefore, its light reflection is bigger and more powerful. But this is material side of the issue. So all creation, all planets that us mortals live on are material. All the planets we are going to pass after resurrection, once this body consumes all living energy being given to us by Creator, we will be resurrected also not in cosmos, in space, but on certain definite material planets. And our creation is made up of different segments. And these segments are becoming larger the closer they are getting to the center of the whole of creation. So in this case, I should say that all creation is structured. There is a certain structure. And this structure is not made at random. It is perfectly designed by Creator. Because it is Creator who is the author and architect of all evolution that is being carried out by Creator according to His personal plan. He has designed the way material creation and different orders of beings, be them spiritual or morontial or material, perform their certain tasks. So all this creation is material. Nevertheless, energy has come out for creating this side of creation by Creator's huge family. That is, by different orders of Creator's sons and daughters. They are capable of doing certain functions because they have been designed for these functions. And it is much easier to control, to dominate, to lead, and even to rule creation once it's segmented into certain parts. And the closer parts to Creator's dwelling abode, which is called Paradise, and which is the center of the whole of creation, the more sophisticated and the nicer is the environment, material environment. That is, all these planets, that myriads of forms of different activities take place. And this activity is being carried out by definite living sons and daughters of Creator. So the closer to the center and source of the whole of creation, that is, the closer to Creator is the segment, the part of creation, the more insightful are sons and daughters of Creator operating for the benefit of all on these planets. And like Creator Himself controls the whole of creation as the center of the whole of creation, equally it is so when you take any part of the material creation. Every part has its own leader or head of this place, of this part. And the higher, or in this case, the closer to Creator is the part of creation, the more spiritually minded is the head, the leader of this part of creation. So you would follow my thought this way. So if you go further away from creation center, which is the dwelling abode of Creator, and which is called Paradise, the lower the power is being used for making this part of creation, and the lower the qualification of those who controlled these parts of creation. And their qualification is quite enough to guarantee stability and well-being of those who work, who operate in this part of creation under the leadership of this or that personality. And when I say, well, the lower is the qualification, so it's a relative comparison, because those who are directly originated by Creator, who originated from Creator, they are all perfect. But their qualifications differ because different parts of creation requires different way of control of this or that part. So therefore, experience has to be gained by the leaders of different parts. And of course, this adds to their qualification. And experience is unique to every personality. Therefore, the higher is the operation of personality by the personality identity, the more sophisticated is the experience the personality is accumulating within, while operating without. So if I tell you that in addition to this, Creator sends a certain amount of energy that is necessary to use for making this or that part of creation. So this energy has been divided and is being divided by Creator just to guarantee the necessary volume, the necessary amount of energy to every part of creation that Creator has designed according to His evolutionary plan. And every part of creation, no matter what might be the size of this part, has its own center. And there is always, it is a must, there is always a certain leader who is qualified to lead this segment to the benefit of all, to lead towards Creator, so that spiritual enlightenment should be guaranteed to this part of creation following Creator's plan. Therefore, you should understand that every leader of every part of creation is the biggest light in this part. Therefore, you do desire to trust this head of this part of creation, because he is using his own understanding, his own knowledge, his own experience for the benefit of all those who inhabit this part of creation and who operate for the benefit of all under the leadership of this leader's personality. And if you come to the lowest creature like mortals who still have the material abode, which is called a human body. So even this personality indwelling this body, just temporary, during the life, and which is a very short span on this planet. So he still has a certain center. And this center is brain, because it is mind, which is using brain as a material means to control actions that are being performed by this material tool, by this material body, by the human body. And this mind has, well, its master. And this master is called a spiritual personality. The spiritual personality, as I've just mentioned before, has been bestowed by Creator Himself, who is the source and center of personality. And the personality gift is eternal. It is a gift to a person, be it a spiritual level or martial level or the level of a mortal being, material level so far. Well, judging by his appearance, because the material body is called a human body, and people judge people by the way others look like from outside. Very few people look much deeper into what is inside this body, because people, as their mind is not developed, because nobody taught them to look much deeper, so they evaluate a person the way he is dressed, the way he looks like, and what are even features, traits of man's face. And they give certain evaluations. But it is too few who look deeper. What character qualities are being exposed by this personality? Because it is much more important. So if you go even to this material body, to the segment of a single cell, so even the cell has its own center, which is called a nucleus. And the nucleus of every cell controls the life operation of the cell. Therefore, living cells are not like operating in a chaotic way. Chaos is not designed by Creator, because Creator is the source and center of harmony and perfect order. And chaos is when something is disrupted in the center of that physical system. And by the physical system, I mean all body. So if mind is not operating well, so this sort of disrupted harmony is being experienced by the nucleus of the cell. And the cell cannot operate in harmony either, because Creator has designed this body to perform in harmony of his top frequency vibrations. And top frequency vibrations have also a human name, and it is called love. So if man lives in love, and love is just the creator, because he is the source and center of love, and he is exposing himself while pouring out top frequency vibrations upon the whole of creation. So all these vibrations might be experienced when every son of Creator is open to Creator. When his heart is opened. So in this case, mind is not yet the top level that should operate following Creator's will. It is necessary that metaphorical heart, in capital character, H, so that heart should be open to Creator, so that Creator himself would be discovered within. So only in this situation, that personality, using his mind as the personality center of all activity, shall be operating in harmony, shall be operating in light, and even in life. Because this personality shall step upon light and life stage of its evolution, of personality evolution. And it is very important that we should direct our heart-mind to the center of personality and love. That is Creator. So once we are in conformity with Creator's will, our deeds shall be filled up with vibrations of love, which is a dominant power throughout the whole of creation. And the same, it has to be a dominant power within every personality. And in this case, every single cell nucleus shall experience this top frequency energy vibrations within the body, and would operate according to Creator's rhythm, in harmony, in consort with Creator's rhythm. And that is life, and that is evolution designed by Creator for every segment of creation and for every leader of every segment. And our planet is not an exception in this respect. Therefore, we have no other choice but to choose Creator's will and fuse our will with that of Creator. And that's